Hello everyone. I've got a few things to say about where we are at 6 months into the genocide in Palestine, in Gaza. First of all, the US President Biden yesterday called for a ceasefire in Gaza. Now, why did he do that? And then what events led up to that? We know that Joe Biden has ignored the mass murder of over 32,000 people in Gaza over the last 6 months. So why would he choose now to call for a ceasefire? Well, one of the factors, and maybe just one of them, is that the aid organisation World Central Kitchen is an organisation that is backed by the United States in order to stop UNRWA from being the major aid organisation in Palestine. UNRWA has existed since the United Nations set it up in 1948, 76 years, and it is the only body capable of providing aid to all the Palestinians. It's got the logistics, the distribution systems, the people on the ground, and I've had some personal contact with UNRWA workers who have been stopped by Israel from providing that aid. In this case, it was on the West Bank. And so they put a person who was an UNRWA worker who was distributing aid, they put him in detention for 18 months in order to prevent that aid from going into the refugee camps that he was taking the oil and flour to. So UNRWA is the established organisation which has the capability of feeding the people in Gaza. And Israel and the United States are trying to starve the people in Gaza. And so in order to make it appear that they are being, that they're not trying to do that, is they've set up World Central Kitchen. And the United States has been giving WCK over $500 million. They've built a pier, the Israelis have built a pier out from Gaza using the rubble from the houses and buildings that they have destroyed, the homes of the people from Gaza. And the barges that come, the maximum amount of aid that they can provide is maybe 50 trucks. That combined with the airdrops that the United States has been giving. Now, the normal amount of aid, we're told, by the Israeli authorities themselves, that goes through Rafah, normal, just before the genocide, is 45 trucks an hour. So that is a drop in the bucket, and that's been identified as being that. So what the United States they're trying to replace UNRWA. They've defunded it. They were helped by Penny Wong. She helped defund it, but then reinstated the funding. They've been helped by Canada, who still has defunded it, and they've been helped by Germany. And of course, on the ground, they've been helped by Israel, who are just killing UNRWA workers. And in the West Bank, they detain them or they kill them. So we have to look behind the facts. Now, okay, this is not out there in the mainstream media, of course not. And of course there's concern for the workers who are caught up in this. There are aid workers, 7, that have been murdered by the IDF. Why would the IDF murder workers from an organisation that they back? And the answer is, they gave it the answer. They said it was friendly fire. Now, I think it was actually targeted, and I think the Israelis have targeted their own people in this particular conflict. They killed their own people on the 7th of October, 2023. They slaughtered them because the wall that they had, the fence that they had been broken, and their policy is, if you cross the fence, we kill you. And it does not matter that you might be at a music festival and there are other civilians that are going to be killed. We'll kill them too. And they've proven that now by using this lavender artificial intelligence algorithm. They spot a person, a male person, and they're quite happy to kill all of the innocents around them, which are mainly women, children, old people. So that is the IDF strategy, and plus it's clear that the soldiers on the ground have just gone crazy. They don't even obey central command. I think that Netanyahu has lost control of his troops on the ground, and his commanders have as well. So it's just, it's a bloodlust that is happening there. These are hard things to say, but we have to get to what is needed. Now, you can play a small part in this, as can anyone. In order to stop the genocide, we must stop the Australian government support for Israel. And in order to do that, we must stop the flow of arms from Australia to Israel. We can do that because there are arms dealers in Australia. And as Anthony Lowenstein says in his book, The Palestine Laboratory, that trade is both to Israel and from Israel. So it's a combined thing that we are using our engineering skills to perfect bomb parts and special hinges to open the bomb doors of the F-35s, special refinements to the software in the drones. For example, the drone that hit the World Central Kitchen people, that was an Elbit drone. And that drone is capable of dropping Hellfire missiles and also, I think, a missile called the Spike. And it punctured right through the roof, killing the people in the 3 separate vehicles. So these are, we have people here who are proud of their achievements, engineers who boast in their professional resumes that they are part of this. So we have to be aware of that. We have to be aware of the fact that we have counter-terrorism squads that have been raiding people's houses in all the capital cities. Now, I'm not wanting to strike fear into people's hearts, but these are realistic things. And in order for us to build a campaign, we must have some central organising place. In Brisbane, that is provided by the rallies and the actions organised by Justice for Palestine. In Melbourne and Sydney it's different. I don't know the details there, but there are similar organisations also in Adelaide and in Perth. So in Brisbane, for example, there's a rally today where there'll be almost exclusively Palestinian speakers who have family in Gaza. We have to listen to what they say, and we have to listen to why they distrust aid organisations like World Central Kitchen, because that's an aid agency of the occupier, and why they have been giving their support to UNRWA, because UNRWA has serviced the Palestinian people now for 76 years. But the United States, Joe Biden, Israel, Canada, Germany, Australia's sitting on the fence, but that's insignificant. All of those central countries have decided they're going to defund and make UNRWA history. So I urge people to go to the rallies. There's one on today marking the 6th anniversary. It's at 3 p.m. in King George Square. And I ask people to participate as fully as they can in those. If they can't make it, to watch it online. There's plenty of vision of the rally on social media these days, on Facebook and Instagram. But it's important to be there and to participate. And if there are any meetings called, participate in those meetings the organisational meetings, the ones that you feel that you can make a contribution. There's we get help now from medics, healthcare professionals. We get help from the people who organise the marches. We get help from Mums for Palestine, who organise their own events. There's one coming up where they're organising a children's market in Banyapa Park in Kurilpa in West End, and there is a shutdown fairer to stop the weapons manufacturer in Tingalpa from providing weapons to Israel and to the United States. There are a number of different groups. Important in that, of course, is Unionists for Palestine. Now, they're crucial because up to now, unions have not been fully participant in these direct opposition to the Australian government's commitment to Israel and the United States. But we're hoping that will change and that we'll see direct action from the unions, from workers themselves, and of course from people in the community to provide solidarity pickets for those workers when they do take action, and for legal observers to defend them if they are put on trumped up charges, such as being put on 15 people in Brisbane by the counter-terrorism squad. So that's about it for me now. I encourage you to read Anthony Lowenstein's book, The Palestinian Laboratory. I encourage you also to watch the full background briefing given by the Electronic Intifada, a very good source of information. Go on YouTube and look at their podcasts. Also, if you want a more balanced, more mainstream coverage, of course, go to Al Jazeera. Its live stream is covering most of these events. So that's all from me, Ian Kerr, 4PR, Voice of the People. Stay strong, people. This is a big struggle. Bye now.